Folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for week ending September 15th for York Region. Now, generally, listings are up, which is great news, but not for the Vaughan area. A quick thank you to those of you that are using the calendar link in the description below. You know, I'm happy to talk to any of you about anything related to real estate, buying, selling, just general questions. And to make it really convenient and simple, we put a link to my calendar in the description below. Just book a time that's convenient for you. This way, I'll know ahead of time when we're going to talk, and I'll make sure I'm available to talk about whatever's on your mind. This past week, we've done a few transactions, and on two of them where we're representing the buyers, I just got to tell you, we were able to successfully take advantage of mistakes the listing agent did. Now, I'm saying this because the advantage that we took, the mistakes that we took advantage of cost money, like it cost real money to those sellers. They don't even know. And so it's so important, I've said this before, who you hire matters. Not just in the real estate industry, but in any industry. There's certain people that practice those professions that are better, more strategic than some of the other people. So it's so important. Who you hire matters. It could really, you could feel the difference in your pocket at the end of the day. Okay, let's get into York Region. Let's get into the numbers. We've got more listings across the board, which is exciting to see. I'm going to start off with condos for York Region. Here we go. So average sold price has come down slightly. The average sold price is sitting at $643,000. And that's, you know, when you kind of look at it, it's been pretty steady, and it's been going up a little bit over the last few months, but $640,000 or so has been pretty steady for most of the year when it comes to York Region condo prices. Sales have gone up slightly to 57 versus the previous week when we were at 47. That puts us to 12% higher than the last year's average sold price. So we're generally higher than last year's average sold price. Now, of the 57 that sold, 54% sold at list price or more. So you're able to, on some of them, in some of the buildings, lots of competition, and in other buildings, you can really take your time, negotiate a fair and decent price. Here's the real story. Listings came up. Last week, the week before, we were listing in the 80s. We've been in 80 and one of them at 90 now for over a month. Last week, we listed 130. We do expect more listings this time of the year, and so with more listings, we're going to see more sales just because the buyers are there. They've been waiting for more inventory. So we feed them with more listings, we're going to see more sales. And months of inventory has gone up slightly to 1.6 months of inventory, and days on market is sitting at 22. So it's, you know, 22 days on market. There's time to look in some situations. In others, you got to act fast because that property is going to be sold at ask price or more right away. Okay, let's get into the Vaughan area, just detached properties. Average sold price has come down. I mean, the previous week it was sitting at $1,900,000, which was a ridiculous average sold price. And now we've come down to $1,740,000, still high. However, 1,740 is one of the higher average sold price throughout the year. So we have a very strong average sold price. We saw 41 detached properties in Vaughan last week, and that's up slightly from the week before. And 7 of those were at $2 million or more. 15% is the amount, the average sold price is higher versus last year's average sold price at this time. Of the 41 sales, 68% sold at list price or more. So it's somewhat competitive buying a detached property in Vaughan. Now, here's an interesting story. 68 are the amount of new listings we had last week. And across the GTA in general, in the city of Toronto, and you'll see in Richmond Hill and Vaughan, listings are up quite a bit over the previous week. Not so much in Vaughan. So maybe there's a delay, maybe we'll see more. We expect more listings. Look what we were listing last year at this time, 144 we listed. This year, 68, up just by 2 from the previous week. And that takes the months of inventory to 1.1, with 13 is the average days on market. So that's the Vaughan market. Let's look at Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill's average sold price shot up to, it's just under $2 million right now, $1,963,000. It's really high. 1963 is the second highest or third highest we've had all year. So the prices, especially if we look at just the last little while here, prices are extremely high and strong in Richmond Hill. Sales went up from 25 to 35 sales. Of the 35, almost a third, 10 of them sold at $2 million or more, which kind of helps to understand why average sold price is so high. When close to a third are selling at $2 million or more, where else do you expect average sold price to be? That takes us to 36% higher than last year's average sold price. Of the 35, 63% sold at list price or more. And here's a nice story. Listings are up by quite a bit from the previous week. We listed 76 detached houses in Richmond Hill, and you're going to see those new listings translate into sales, but the following week, because a lot of those properties are listed with an offer date, which takes us into next week. Months of inventory came down from where it was the last 2 weeks. We were sitting at 1.9 months of inventory. Market's a bit tighter now, sitting at 1.5. Days on market is sitting at 20. Markham. Average sold price continuing to go up. It's been going up for a few weeks now. $1,851,000 is the average sold price for detached properties in Markham. That's really high. 1.8. That's the second highest we've had all year. Sales went from 28 to 45 last week. 15 of the 45 sold at $2 million or more, which helps to explain why average sold price continues, and it's so high right now. When 15 out of 45 are at $2 million or more, similar to the Richmond Hill story, of course average sold price is going to shoot way up. We're at 43% higher than last year's average sold price. It's interesting to see last year, the blue average sold price is continuously going down for a few weeks. This year it's going up. It's almost like the mirror reflection going in two opposite directions there. So of the 45 that sold, which is similar to what we sold last year at this time, 67% sold at list price or more. Listings are up also. From 50, we close to doubled. From 50, we went to 90 listings. Now, for about a month and a half or so, we've been listing 50 every single week in Markham. Going up to 90 is giving the buyers more choice, which is exciting. And let me see here, and that takes months of inventory down to 1 month of inventory. The average days on market is sitting at 16. Here's the overall summary with months of inventory. Except for condos that went up, but I think it went up just by 0.1. Months of inventory is going down for all the different regions. It's very much a seller's market. It's refreshing to see more listings. I imagine we're going to see more listings in Vaughan also next week. That's the York Region report. We've got a really cool new listing that we're going to talk to you about right now, right after this. Let me introduce you to 4027 Bloor Street West, located just east of the East Mall. This is a 3-bedroom bungalow with a large private driveway. Sits on a 43 by 120 lot. Now you can take the bungalow as is, update it to your liking, but it comes complete with building plans for a large 2-family home over 4,000 square feet. So let me show you how we're gonna go from the current small 3-bedroom bungalow that's on the property now to this large, over 4,000 square foot, modern 2-family home. City plans and permits are already in place. Here's the floor plan. Now this is a unique setup. 2 families can live under one roof here and both have luxurious living quarters. Here's the primary suite over here. Now it's divided between primary and secondary. Now to enter the primary suite, you either come in through the garage that has its own entrance where your own private space in the garage, or through the covered porch right at the front. And you come in and it's all open concept. The primary residence is about 2,400 square feet. You've got your open concept main floor and a walkout to a private back deck, up to the second floor where you have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 4 skylights, and its own laundry facilities. Coming back to the secondary suite. Now the secondary suite is about 1,650 square feet. There are 2 entrances to the secondary suite. One is through the garage where you have your own private parking, or through the side entrance here, and you come up and it's also open concept on the main floor with the kitchen, the living room, and a walkout to a private deck. Now the living quarters for this, you've got to go down just a few steps to the basement. You've got 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and a family room, and it walks up. There's stairs also walking up a little bit to the backyard. Now, I don't want to confuse the secondary suite, say for a basement rental that everybody's kind of used to. The secondary suite is a full living quarters for another family. The basement has a ceiling height of 10 feet. 5 feet of it is above grade. Big windows. The point is it doesn't feel like a basement. And this is easily for 2 families to live comfortably, luxurious, or use it as rental income or for co-ownership. Call me and I'll give you all the details.